Hey there, amazing listeners. Take a moment and think about someone older in your life. Maybe a grandparent, a parent, an aunt, or even a cherished neighbor. Have you ever considered what their biggest day-to-day challenge might be, beyond just, physical health? What truly impacts their quality of life, perhaps in ways we don't immediately see? Today, we're taking a truly essential deep dive into a topic that affects millions globally, yet often remains hidden in plain sight. I'm talking about the silent epidemic of loneliness and social isolation among older adults. We're going to explore not only why this happens and its profound, often surprising, impact on health, but really importantly, we'll uncover actionable ways we can build stronger connections and support systems within our communities. Our mission for this deep dive is, to unpack the critical insights from a whole range of authoritative sources, from global public health organizations like the WHO to national institutes and even grassroots volunteer initiatives. Our goal is to give you a clear, comprehensive understanding of this challenge and, crucially, the tangible ways to overcome it. We'll be looking at everything from the surprising benefits of new technologies to the transformative power of human connection and community engagement.
What's particularly revealing here is just how pervasive this issue truly is and how many layers there are to understanding it. It's far more than just a simple feeling. It's a complex societal challenge with deep roots. We'll be connecting the dots between significant demographic shifts, individual well-being, and some really innovative solutions, helping you see not just what the problem is, but why it profoundly matters for all of us, young and old.
So let's begin by maybe distinguishing between two terms. They often get used interchangeably, but our sources highlight them as distinct, though, intimately related experiences. I'm talking about loneliness and social isolation. It's a really important distinction to grasp, I think, when we start considering effective solutions.
That's a crucial starting point. Yeah. Loneliness, as eliminated by sources like the National Institute on Aging and WebMD, is primarily an emotional state. It's that distressing feeling of being alone or separated from others, a sort of subjective sense of lacking companionship or connection. What's remarkable and often kind of counterintuitive is that you can experience profound loneliness even when you're physically surrounded by people. Maybe, say, at a family gathering or in a crowded city, because it speaks to a perceived lack of meaningful, high-quality social bonds. It's about the emotional void, really, regardless of who's physically there.
Right, so it's the feeling inside, not necessarily the number of people around you.
Exactly. Social isolation, on the other hand, refers to an objective state. It's the measurable lack of social contacts and having few regular interactions with others. This is more about the quantity or the absence of connections. For instance, WebMD points out that someone can live completely alone and not feel lonely at all. They might genuinely enjoy their solitude and connect deeply with just a few people occasionally. Conversely, someone with, tons of acquaintances might still feel acutely lonely due to a lack of deeper, more intimate connections. The National Institute on Aging reinforces this one's an internal feeling, the other an external measurable condition. Both can be detrimental, definitely, but they might need different approaches to address them.
Thinking about this distinction, the sheer scale of the challenge across the globe is quite startling. The numbers really highlight why this is often called a silent epidemic. The World Health Organization, the WHO, estimates that approximately 1 in 4 older adults worldwide suffers from loneliness and social isolation. 1 in 4. That's an astonishing proportion of our global senior population.
It really is.
Yeah.
And when we connect these figures to the broader societal landscape, it becomes clear that these aren't just abstract statistics. Not at all. They represent millions of individuals facing a profound daily challenge, with repercussions that, they ripple through public health, economic systems, and the very fabric of our communities. WebMD offers even more specific data for the U.S., revealing a really striking statistic. A staggering 27% of Americans aged 60 and over live alone.
27%, wow.
Yeah, and this is notably the second highest percentage in the entire world. Just to give you some context, in countries with strong multi-generational living traditions, like, say, Algeria or Afghanistan, that figure drops to less than 5%.
Huge difference.
Massive. And beyond just living alone, the data indicates that over 30% of adults over 45 report experiencing loneliness. And almost a quarter of those aged 65 and older are classified as socially isolated. So it paints a vivid picture of a widespread issue that truly demands our collective attention and a deep understanding of its underlying causes. Which I suppose brings us to a fundamental question. What specific factors make older adults particularly susceptible to loneliness and social isolation? Our sources collectively point to a complex interplay of forces, everything from broad demographic shifts to deeply personal losses and, well, evolving societal attitudes. Let's start with demographic and health changes. While living longer is obviously a testament to advancements in medicine and quality of life, it also means more years spent in retirement. And that can lead to a reduction in daily social contact previously provided by work.
Right, the work social network just disappears for many.
Exactly. And as the WHO and the El Voluntariado source highlight, extended lifespans increase the potential for developing chronic diseases and a gradual loss of physical autonomy. Think about conditions like hearing or vision impairment, memory decline, physical disabilities, or difficulties with mobility. As the NIA and WebMD explain, these conditions can severely hinder an older person's ability to participate in social activities. They can make leaving home a significant hurdle, or even make it challenging just to follow conversations, all of which kind of chip away at social engagement.
And it's certainly not just about the physical aspects of aging, is it? We've also seen these profound shifts in family and social dynamics. Our sources, particularly El Voluntariado, talk about how traditional family structures have significantly evolved. We're seeing fewer multi-generational households where, grandparents, parents, and children all lived under one roof. Instead, adult children often move far away for work opportunities, and nuclear families themselves tend to be smaller. This often leaves older individuals living alone, sometimes for decades.
And that's often compounded by one of the most significant and frankly heartbreaking triggers for anguish and sadness, the loss of a spouse or other loved ones. As El Voluntariado, the NIA, and WebMD all articulate, this isn't merely the loss of a person. It's the profound loss of shared daily routines, cherished activities, and a deeply ingrained personal role within that relationship.
Yeah, a whole way of life disappears.
It does. These losses can strip away long-standing social networks and connections that were once absolutely central to a person's identity and daily life. Indeed. And beyond individual and family circumstances, we also face some problematic societal perceptions and economic factors. There's a troubling trend that the El Voluntariado source terms the desvalorization of older persons. This refers to a societal devaluation or sort of disregard for their worth and contributions, often fueled by negative stereotypes and ageist prejudices.
Like they're seen as less valuable once they retire.
In some ways, yes. Society seems to place a higher value on consumption and productivity than on the wisdom, experience, and historical perspective that older individuals offer. And this can lead to diminished social support networks. This marginalization is often exacerbated by economic challenges. Post-retirement, many older adults face a significant loss of purchasing power, which can restrict their ability to participate in social activities or maintain connections that cost money.
That makes sense. Going out costs money.
It does. And tragically, they are also at an increased risk of scams, which can further deplete their resources and, critically, their trust, leading to deeper isolation. The WHO and the Grandes Amigos Manifesto both unequivocally highlight ageism discrimination based on age as a pervasive issue that profoundly affects mental health. It contributes to feelings of being undervalued, irrelevant, or just unseen.
And finally, we can't overlook the significant impact of lifestyle and environmental factors, can we? Major life changes, like the profound shift of retirement or personal upheavals such as divorce or the death of loved ones, as WebMD and the NIA mention, can fundamentally disrupt established social circles. Retirement, for example, just removes that daily structure and camaraderie of the workplace.
Absolutely. And functional limitations, think about difficulties participating in daily activities, the inability to leave home without help, or a lack of reliable transportation. These are formidable barriers to connection, according to the NIA and WebMD. It's incredibly difficult to maintain a vibrant social life if you physically struggle to get out and engage.
Yeah, you can't join in if you can't get there.
Precisely. And even broader environmental factors play a role. Living in rural areas with limited services, maybe unsafe neighborhoods, or simply inaccessible environments. Language barriers can also create profound isolation for immigrants or those in diverse communities, as WebMD points out. And for individuals who take on the demanding role of caregiving for a sick spouse or family member, the WHO and NIA underscore that this can be an overwhelming burden. It often consumes all available time and energy, significantly affecting the caregiver's own mental health and leaving little to no capacity for their own social needs. It truly is a complex, multifaceted web of challenges. So, shifting our focus a bit, the impact of loneliness isn't just an emotional burden. It actually manifests in tangible, serious physical health consequences. When an individual experiences chronic loneliness, the body often reacts with a sustained stress response. This physiological state over time can have profound and, well, devastating long-term effects. Our sources, including the National Institute on Aging and WebMD, consistently draw a direct line between social isolation and loneliness and an increased risk of severe conditions. We're talking about cardiovascular diseases like heart disease, stroke, and high blood pressure, as well as metabolic conditions like obesity.
That's truly alarming. It makes you realize that what we think of as emotional pain can literally become a physical one.
Absolutely. And consider the immune system. Chronic loneliness has been linked to chronic inflammation throughout the body and a significant reduction in immune function.
So you actually get sick more easily.
That's what the evidence suggests. It means individuals experiencing persistent loneliness become far more vulnerable to infectious diseases and may recover more slowly. Furthermore, the data reveals higher rates of hospital admissions and readmissions, indicating a greater need for medical intervention. And most tragically, there's a demonstrable increased likelihood of premature death. WebMD provides a very specific and sobering example to drive this point home. Heart failure patients who experience loneliness are a staggering 4 times more likely to die.
4 times, wow.
Yeah. The statistic powerfully underscores how critical meaningful social connection is, not just for mental well-being, but for sheer physical survival and overall longevity.
This really prompts a deeper look into the mental toll then. What are the psychological implications of this widespread loneliness and social isolation? It's not simply about feeling a bit down, is it? It can be a gateway to more severe conditions, particularly depression and anxiety. Our sources, including the NIA, WHO, and WebMD, show a consistent and strong association between these states of disconnection and increased rates of diagnosable mental health conditions.
What's crucial here, and often misunderstood, is the National Institute on Aging's unequivocal statement. Depression is a serious mood disorder, and it is not a normal or inevitable part of aging.
That's such a key message.
It is a vital distinction. In fact, most older adults report being quite satisfied with their lives, even in the face of more physical ailments than younger people. Yet mental disorders contribute a significant global burden. The WHO reports they account for 10.6% of total years lived with disability for adults aged 60 and older. And the most devastating consequence is the risk of suicide. Tragically, around 27.2% of global suicides occur in people aged 60 or more, as highlighted by the WHO. And suicidal thoughts are a severe symptom of depression, as the NIA emphasizes.
So if someone in your life seems persistently withdrawn or sad, it's really not something to just dismiss as part of getting old. It's a very real and potentially dangerous condition.
Exactly. And the challenges in diagnosing depression in older adults can be significant. The NIA notes that for some, sadness may not even be the primary symptom. Instead, they might describe feeling numb or a pervasive lack of interest in activities they once enjoyed, and they might be less willing to openly discuss their feelings.
Interesting. So it might not look like typical sadness.
Correct. Compounding this, in some cultures, depression may manifest primarily through physical symptoms like unexplained aches, headaches, cramps, or digestive problems. This can lead to misdiagnosis or a delay in seeking appropriate help. There's also the powerful issue of stigmatization surrounding mental health, which often prevents older adults from seeking the help they desperately need, a point strongly emphasized by the WHO. The NIA further details various types of depression common in older adults: major depressive disorder, persistent depressive disorder or dysthymia, or even depression induced by substances or related to other medical conditions. But the central message remains: depression is a treatable medical condition, and it is not an unavoidable aspect of growing older. Shifting our attention again, it's really fascinating to explore the profound link between social connection and cognitive health. Isolation isn't just about emotional distress or even physical illness. It directly impacts brain function and long-term cognitive vitality. Our sources, including the National Institute on Aging and WebMD, reveal a significantly increased risk of cognitive impairment and dementia, including Alzheimer's disease, for those who are socially isolated.
Really? A direct link to dementia?
Yes. WebMD explicitly highlights this connection, stating that a person who is socially isolated is approximately 50% more likely to develop dementia.
50% more likely, that's a staggering figure. So maintaining a rich social life isn't just enjoyable, it's almost like a form of exercise for the brain, helping to keep it sharp.
You've hit on a key point. Regular social engagement provides cognitive stimulation, it challenges our minds, and can reduce stress, all of which contribute to overall brain resilience. Beyond specific diagnoses, there's a complex, sort of bidirectional link between depression and dementia. Depression can sometimes emerge as an early warning sign of developing dementia, and conversely, the diagnosis of a cognitive decline can itself trigger severe depression. The NIA even notes that suicide attempts can tragically increase in newly diagnosed dementia patients, underscoring the severe mental health toll that this condition can take.
Wow, that's heavy.
It is. Furthermore, a low level of social activity isn't just about the brain. It can lead to a more general decline in the ability to perform crucial daily tasks. Think about the intricate processes involved in managing finances, remembering to take medications correctly, preparing nutritious meals, or even navigating public transport. The NIA and WebMD both highlight how a lack of social engagement can diminish the capacity for these everyday activities, leading to a loss of independence and a significant decline in overall quality of life. The connections really are profound.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk about technology. This is an area that's constantly evolving, and for many older adults, well, adapting to new digital tools can present real hurdles, maybe due to limited resources, lack of familiarity, or just the challenge of keeping up. However, our sources underscore that bridging this digital divide is absolutely crucial for their well-being in our interconnected world. It's no longer just a convenience, it's increasingly a necessity for staying engaged.
Yeah, and Amavir, one of our sources, frankly acknowledges these very real challenges. The scarcity of resources for devices or internet access, the sheer unfamiliarity with new interfaces.
Right, it can be intimidating.
The difficulty in adapting to rapidly evolving tools, and even the potential for insecurity or outright rejection of technology due to past negative experiences or fear of the unknown. This brings up an important point. How do we transform what might seem like a formidable barrier into a powerful tool for connection and independence? The key, as Amavir emphasizes, is fostering thoughtful and patient digital integration. The goal isn't just to get older adults online, but to ensure they are not excluded from our increasingly digital world, enabling them to age in place more healthily and independently. When approached correctly, technology can truly become an ally, rather than an intimidating obstacle. Indeed, if we consider the broader picture, technology offers far more than mere entertainment or basic communication. It presents a multitude of significant life improvements for older adults. Amavir highlights several key benefits. First, it can dramatically improve their quality of life. Think about specialized applications for health management apps that remind them to take medication, track vital signs, or even provide emergency alerts. Beyond that, there are tools specifically designed to address common age-related challenges like vision or hearing problems, making daily tasks easier and life more manageable.
So it's about very practical, tangible solutions for everyday living. And you mentioned it can also help with those crucial connections. How does that truly manifest?
That's the second major benefit: maintaining crucial contact. With adult children or grandchildren often living far away, mobile phones and video calls become indispensable. They facilitate easy, face-to-face communication with loved ones, bridging geographical distances. As the National Institute on Aging also points out, this directly combats social isolation by making it simple to see and speak with family members regularly, fostering a sense of continued belonging.
And what about empowering them to live more autonomously? Does technology play a role there?
Absolutely. That's the third significant advantage: strengthening independence. The internet, through a smartphone or tablet, provides instant access to a wealth of information and resources for daily assistance. From looking up recipes to finding local services or even managing appointments. This empowers older adults to manage more aspects of their lives autonomously, reducing reliance on others and fostering self-sufficiency.
Okay, that makes sense.
Fourth, technology offers much-needed diversion and entertainment. There's a growing market of games and novelties specifically designed for seniors, which can be enjoyed alone or, even better, shared with younger family members. This shared experience fosters wonderfully positive intergenerational relationships. These aren't just time fillers, they offer mental stimulation, engagement, and shared joy.
Like playing online games together, maybe.
Exactly. Or sharing photos, watching videos. And finally, technology helps older adults stay physically and mentally active and engaged. Just as for younger generations, there are applications and wearable devices for exercise, interactive games, and cognitive training tools designed to keep the brain active, contributing to both physical fitness and cognitive vitality.
This truly puts things into perspective. What specific devices, then, can make a real difference? Moving beyond just the abstract idea of technology to practical applications. Our sources provide some compelling examples. E-books, for instance, are a fantastic option. As our vision naturally changes with age, traditional print can become difficult to read. E-readers allow users to instantly adjust font size, change text to background contrast, and control screen light intensity, making reading comfortable and accessible again. It opens up worlds of stories and information.
That's a great one. Then there are smartphones and tablets. These aren't just for making calls, they're incredibly multifunctional. For older adults, they serve as vital tools for staying connected calls, video chats, messaging. They also provide instant access to valuable information, reinforce security with features like emergency alerts, and offer a wide array of entertainment options. Tablets, especially with their larger screens, offer an even more comfortable and user-friendly experience for consuming content and interacting digitally.
Our sources also highlight the practical benefits of activity trackers and smartwatches. These wearable devices are remarkably convenient and offer numerous health benefits, like accurately counting steps, measuring heart rate, tracking sleep patterns, and calculating calories burned. Smartwatches, in particular, can be incredibly useful as they connect directly to phones, alerting users to incoming calls or messages, even if their phone isn't immediately at hand. Adds a crucial layer of convenience and safety.
Definitely. And for practical daily living, maintaining autonomy within the home, smart robot vacuums are proving to be, well, game changers. Maintaining a clean home can become a physically challenging task for older adults, especially those with mobility issues or chronic pain. These robots save significant time and effort, effortlessly reaching difficult areas, offering a practical, hands-off solution that enhances independence and reduces physical strain.
I can see how that would be a huge help. And for paramount peace of mind and safety, security devices are incredibly valuable. This category encompasses a range of technologies, right? Like emergency alert buttons that can be worn or placed strategically.
Exactly. And motion sensors to help prevent falls and other accidents, and even GPS locators for individuals who might experience disorientation or wander. These technologies provide greater autonomy by allowing seniors to remain in their homes safely, while simultaneously offering crucial protection and enabling rapid response in emergencies.
Finally, voice assistants like Alexa, Google Assistant, or Siri seem to be making a truly significant impact. Whether integrated into phones, tablets, or dedicated smart speakers, they offer an incredibly simple, direct, and intuitive way for older adults to communicate, access information, and maybe even combat loneliness through conversation or by easily playing music or audiobooks.
They really do. These devices simplify interaction with technology, making it far more accessible even for those who might struggle with complex interfaces or touchscreens. That's an excellent overview of the tools themselves. Now, let's consider a critical point. How do we introduce these tools effectively to ensure they are adopted and genuinely embraced rather than becoming another source of frustration or rejection? It's not about forcing technology, but about making it accessible, relevant, and engaging for their individual lives. Emavir provides some excellent practical advice rooted in patience and understanding. First, gradual introduction is absolutely key. Don't overwhelm them with too much too soon.
Right, baby steps.
Exactly. Start with one simple function or device, allowing the individual to assimilate knowledge at their own pace and build confidence without feeling rushed or pressured.
So no tech boot camp on day one with a dozen apps to learn. That makes perfect sense.
Precisely. Second, and this is perhaps the most impactful tip, link technology directly to their existing personal interests. If an older adult loves music, show them how to use Spotify or YouTube. If they're an avid reader, introduce them to an e-reader or audiobooks. For those passionate about gardening, cooking, crafts, there are countless video channels and apps with tutorials that can open up new avenues for their hobbies. When the learning is tied to something they already deeply care about, their motivation to learn and engage becomes significantly higher.
That's a powerful insight, making it immediately relevant to their world rather than just another abstract skill to acquire.
Exactly. Third, it's vital to improve accessibility and adapt the devices to their specific needs. Many older adults face common barriers like vision impairment, hearing loss, or reduced dexterity. It's crucial to make simple but impactful adjustments. Increase font size and contrast, activate voice assistants like Siri or Google Assistant for hands-free operation, use larger on-screen keyboards, or set up shortcuts for frequently used functions. These seemingly small modifications can make a world of difference.
Given these adaptations, I imagine patience from the teacher would be absolutely essential.
You're entirely right, which brings us to the fourth point. Do not rush the process. It is fundamental to be patient, empathetic, and respectful of their individual learning pace. If the teaching is too fast, too complex, or filled with jargon, they might become frustrated, develop technophobia, and lose interest entirely.
Yeah, you just put them off it completely.
Totally. The fifth tip is to provide clear, written, step-by-step instructions. Many older individuals, regardless of their technical aptitude, learn best with physical guides they can refer back to. Include visuals where possible. And finally, encourage intergenerational learning. Family involvement, especially from children or grandchildren, can be incredibly effective. Younger generations often possess a natural fluency with technology, more patience, and can make the learning experience more engaging and fun, simultaneously strengthening family bonds. This approach transforms a learning task into a shared, positive interaction.
Moving beyond the powerful role of technology, let's unpack something equally, if not more vital: the irreplaceable power of human connection. Our sources universally emphasize that volunteering plays a pivotal role in battling loneliness and profoundly enhancing the well-being of older adults. The El Voluntariado source explicitly highlights it as a fundamental link, serving as a bridge between lonely seniors and the broader community, helping them reconnect and feel valued again.
What's truly fascinating here is that volunteering offers a remarkable dual benefit. It not only dramatically reduces loneliness and enhances quality of life for those being accompanied, but it also serves as a powerful preventive measure for the volunteers themselves. El Voluntariado notes that many individuals stepping into these roles are often adults aged 55 to 65. They show their immense maturity, rich life experience, and a profound sense of generosity, finding a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment in contributing to others' well-being.
So it's good for everyone involved.
It really creates a mutually enriching relationship where both parties benefit immensely from that human connection. This brings up an important question. What specific actions do volunteers actually undertake? And what kind of transformative impact do these programs have? Our sources, including El Voluntariado, Grandes Amigos, and Cruz Roja, detail several key areas. First, volunteers play a crucial role in facilitating the resumption of abandoned activities. This directly addresses the challenges of aging and potential loss of autonomy. Volunteers accompany seniors for daily routines that might have become difficult, things like going out for a walk, running errands, coming to the bank, or simply sharing a coffee at a local cafe. As El Voluntariado beautifully states, any activity is an excuse to share and have social life again. It's about reintegrating older adults into the rhythm of daily life.
That's such a simple yet profoundly powerful idea, transforming mundane tasks into opportunities for genuine connection and rediscovering shared experience.
Exactly. The second key area is accompaniment and emotional support. Volunteers offer genuine, empathetic companionship and active, non-judgmental listening. They fill emotional voids that modern family dynamics might leave, providing consistent, quality time without rush or pressure. They deeply listen to senior stories, experiences, wisdom, empowering them by acknowledging their unique histories. This often intergenerational exchange helps break down ageist stereotypes, fostering mutual respect.
Just having someone really listen must make a huge difference.
Immense. Third, volunteer efforts are often dedicated to the promotion of health and overall well-being. This can involve accompanying seniors in physical or recreational activities, fostering social inclusion in their local community. A particularly vital initiative mentioned involves digital literacy programs. Here, volunteers patiently teach older adults how to use essential modern tools like WhatsApp, make video calls, or even use ATMs confidently. This directly combats the digital divide we discussed, empowering seniors with new skills, fostering new connections online, boosting self-esteem, and cultivating a more optimistic outlook.
So what does this all mean in terms of tangible impact? It means organizations like Grandes Amigos are truly making a monumental difference. They boast an incredible network, 2,864 volunteers, providing nearly 345,000 hours of accompaniment and socialization. It's huge. Their remarkable efforts yield measurable results, with reports indicating that a significant 96% of accompanied seniors show an improvement in their mood and affective bonds.
That's incredible data.
Yeah. And similarly, the Cruz Roja provides substantial support through programs like Cruz Roja Te Acompaña, specifically aiming to reduce isolation and equip individuals with tools for personal improvement. These aren't just feel-good initiatives. They are delivering real, measurable impacts on quality of life. Beyond these formal volunteering structures, what other avenues can individuals and communities explore to foster meaningful connections and combat loneliness? Our sources provide a wealth of practical advice for you, the listener, to implement. One particularly effective strategy is simply participating in group activities. Joining a local workshop, a book club, dance classes, hiking groups, engaging with senior centers. These environments, as Tient Blocks and WebMD suggest, are natural settings to meet people with similar interests. It's an organic way to foster interaction. Shared passion becomes the foundation.
That's an excellent starting point. And this brings up a very important question. How do we actively encourage participation and make these opportunities visible and accessible? It's about creating genuinely supportive environments and encouraging behaviors that naturally lead to deeper connections. The WHO strongly emphasizes that fostering social connection is paramount for mitigating social isolation and loneliness. It leads to vastly improved mental health, greater life satisfaction, enhanced quality of life, and a significant reduction in depressive symptoms. It's really a foundational pillar of well-being.
Building on that, leveraging technology for connection is becoming increasingly vital too, isn't it? Our sources, including Tynet Blocks and the NIA, suggest exploring social media, joining online forums for specific hobbies, and even utilizing specialized apps, some designed as contact search engines for finding friendships. Video calls and smart speakers, as we discussed, are also great tools, especially for maintaining relationships across distances.
Then there's the often underestimated power of reactivating old friendships. Sometimes the most meaningful connections are those we've already forged, but perhaps let lapse. Tynet Blocks advises reaching out to past acquaintances, former colleagues, old neighbors. A simple message, a phone call, an invitation for coffee can reawaken a dormant friendship and significantly expand your current social circle.
And for those open to it, adopting a pet can have a profoundly positive impact. WebMD and the NIA note that animals provide immense comfort, reduce stress, even lower blood pressure. While not a replacement for human interaction, it offers consistent companionship, routine, and unconditional affection, which can be incredibly therapeutic.
Definitely. Additionally, maintaining physical activity with others offers that powerful dual benefit. Joining walking clubs, group exercise classes, or simply exercising with friends, as recommended by NIA and WebMD, keeps you physically healthy and provides regular social outlet. It's a consistent opportunity for interaction, motivation, and shared experience.
And on a broader scale, consider community involvement. The NIA and WebMD suggest actively connecting with neighbors, joining religious organizations, or utilizing local social services, community centers, public libraries. These are often vibrant hubs of activity with programs designed to bring people together, offering diverse avenues for connection right in your own neighborhood.
Finally, cultivating a positive, proactive attitude is critically important. As Tynet Blocks points out, simply being open, offering a genuine smile, initiating conversations, proposing plans, and consciously stepping out of your comfort zone can significantly facilitate new connections. It's about demonstrating a willingness to engage, making yourself approachable, and actively seeking out those social opportunities. All these strategies contribute to weaving a richer social life and ultimately foster better overall well-being.
Transitioning to an extremely critical related topic, let's explicitly address something our sources clearly emphasize. The idea that feeling down sometimes is normal, but persistent sadness or a profound loss of interest is not just getting old. Depression is a serious medical condition. The National Institute on Aging unequivocally states, depression is a frequent problem in older people, but depression is not a normal part of aging. In fact, most older people are satisfied with their lives despite having more illnesses or physical problems than younger people. This is such a vital distinction, pushing back against a common and harmful misconception.
That's a fundamentally important point to internalize, yeah. And this prompts an important question. Why is depression so often misunderstood, underestimated, or tragically undertreated in this population? The WHO highlights that mental health conditions in older adults are frequently overlooked, partly due to the powerful, insidious grip of stigma. Individuals might feel ashamed or reluctant to admit they're struggling, fearing judgment or a loss of independence. Similarly, family members might mistakenly dismiss symptoms as a natural part of growing old, inadvertently preventing their loved ones from seeking the professional help they desperately need and deserve. What's particularly complex and often surprising here is the broad range of factors that can contribute to depression in older adults, and how its symptoms might present quite differently than in younger individuals. The National Institute on Aging identifies several key risk factors. These include existing medical conditions, stroke, cancer, heart disease, Parkinson's, which exert immense physical and emotional tolls, often leading to chronic pain or limitations that trigger depressive episodes. Genetics also play a role. Family history matters. Chronic stress, particularly the immense burden of caregiving, is a significant contributor. Sleep problems, too, can both exacerbate and trigger depression.
And we've touched on it extensively, but social isolation and loneliness are massive risk factors themselves, aren't they? Right at the center of this discussion.
They are indeed absolutely central. A lack of physical activity and functional limitations hindering daily activities also significantly increase vulnerability. Additionally, addiction or alcoholism can be both a cause and a symptom, creating a dangerous cycle. Now, when it comes to the symptoms themselves, they can vary widely, making diagnosis challenging. While classic signs like persistent sadness, anxiety, or an empty mood are common, for some older adults, sadness is not the main symptom. Instead, they might feel more numb, a lack of interest, apathy. They might be less willing to talk about feelings, perhaps due to generational norms.
So you need to look beyond just sadness.
Definitely. Other key symptoms include feelings of hopelessness, guilt, worthlessness, increased irritability, loss of interest in nearly all activities, including sex, decreased energy, slowed movement or speech, difficulty concentrating or remembering, neglecting responsibilities, sleep problems, unplanned weight changes, increased substance use, and critically recurring thoughts of death or suicide.
It's also striking how our sources point out cultural variations in how depression might manifest.
That's a very important nuance, yes. The NIA specifically highlights that in some cultures, individuals may express depression primarily through physical symptoms, unexplained aches, persistent headaches, cramps, chronic digestive problems rather than overtly emotional distress. This somatic expression can make diagnosis even more challenging if healthcare providers aren't attuned to these differences. The essential message is, if you observe several of these signs lasting for more than 2 weeks, it's absolutely crucial to speak with a medical professional. They could signal depression or another underlying health issue. Untreated severe depression, as the NIA gravely warns, can tragically lead to suicide, underscoring the urgent need for awareness and intervention.
This brings us to a really hopeful and crucial point, though. The good news is that depression, even severe depression, is treatable. It's about knowing where to start and how to effectively support someone who is struggling. The National Institute on Aging emphasizes seeking treatment as soon as you notice the signs. The very first step should always be to schedule an appointment with a primary medical doctor to rule out any other medical conditions or medication side effects that might be mimicking depressive symptoms.
That initial medical assessment is absolutely critical
To
ensure a correct diagnosis and treatment path. Once medical causes are ruled out, a psychological evaluation might be recommended. The NIA details several common and effective treatments. First, there's psychotherapy or talk therapy. This involves working with a trained mental health professional. 2 highly effective approaches are cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which helps challenge negative thought patterns, and interpersonal therapy, focusing on relationships and social roles.
And what about medication for depression? Is that a common part of treatment for older adults?
Medications are indeed another cornerstone, often used alongside therapy. Antidepressants, particularly SSRIs, are frequently prescribed for older adults. They work by helping balance key brain chemicals affecting mood. However, a significant consideration for older adults, as the NIA notes, is how their bodies process medication. Changes can affect absorption and metabolism, increasing risks of drug interactions or side effects. So it's incredibly important for older adults and caregivers to tell doctors about all medications and supplements.
All of them.
Okay, all of them. Beyond these common approaches, there are also more advanced therapies for severe treatment-resistant cases. Electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, involves a controlled electrical current and can rapidly alleviate severe symptoms. Another is repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation, RTMS, using magnetic fields to stimulate nerve cells. These are typically considered after other treatments. And while complementary approaches like mindfulness can help manage stress, the NIA is clear they should not replace medical treatment for clinical depression. This brings up an incredibly important question for you, the listener. What can you do if a friend or family member is struggling with depression? It's crucial to understand that family and friends cannot treat depression themselves. It's a medical condition needing professional care. However, their role in offering vital support cannot be overstated. First and foremost, encourage the person to seek professional medical treatment and to follow the plan. You can even help them schedule appointments or offer to accompany them. Practical help can remove huge barriers.
So it's about being an active, compassionate partner in their journey toward recovery, not just saying, go get help.
Precisely. Also, participate in activities they enjoy. If they used to love walks, suggest a stroll. The NIA strongly emphasizes physical activity as an excellent complement to treatment, improving mood. And crucially, listen attentively for any warning signs of a worsening condition, especially talk about feeling persistently sad, numb, empty, or, most critically, any expressions of suicidal ideation. The NIA provides very direct advice here. Do not hesitate to ask about suicidal thoughts directly.
Really, just ask them straight out.
Yes. Contrary to popular belief, asking about suicide does not increase the likelihood of action. Instead, it can open up a crucial dialogue, encourage honesty, and prompt the individual to seek immediate help. Remember, resources like the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline are available 24/7 via call or text, offering a critical lifeline. Your directness, compassion, and willingness to ask that difficult question could genuinely save a life.
So what does all of this mean? We've taken a really deep dive into the complex and often invisible issue of loneliness and social isolation in older adults. We've explored its multifaceted roots and societal changes, its profound impact on both physical and mental health, and the powerful tools we have, from tech bridging distances to the timeless act of human connection and volunteering, all aimed at making a tangible difference. Consider this. If the strength and resilience of any community are truly measured by how well it cares for its most vulnerable members, then investing in the social fabric for our older generations isn't merely an act of kindness, it is profoundly an investment in the health, wisdom, and collective resilience of our entire society, benefiting us all now and for the future. How can you personally become a part of weaving that stronger, more vibrant social fabric in your own life and community?
This really raises an important question for you to consider moving forward. How might you apply what you've learned today to foster connection in your own community? Perhaps it's by reaching out to an older neighbor who might be living alone, maybe exploring a local volunteer opportunity that brings generations together, or even just patiently encouraging digital literacy within your own family. For those eager to delve even deeper into related topics and continue this journey of understanding, we really encourage you to explore our full playlist of deep dives on health and well-being. We have many more insights and fascinating connections to share that build on today's discussion. We truly hope this deep dive has provided you with genuine aha moments and actionable insights to become even more well-informed. There's always more to learn, and we're here to help you connect the dots.